Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Cool. All right, so this is the very first episode, which hopefully will actually work here. We'll try and figure that out as we go along, but this is the NR2003 NASCAR Pinty Series mod, and we have a fictional season that hopefully we put together. If you are unaware, the racing season is potentially going to be screwed up this year, obviously because of COVID. We don't know if we're going to be able to have a full season of racing, unfortunately. So put this little thing together, and using the great cars of Jerry Hall, and put this through. What's really nice about this is that we use a program called NRatings, and NRatings basically uses real-time data, so it basically sets the ratings of the drivers based off of real-life data. So what we've done, obviously, is there's a bunch of drivers that maybe even haven't competed in this series before. Just tried to pair them with a driver that of similar caliber, driver based off of the team's kind of winning percentage, how good that team typically is, how good the driver typically would be on road courses, and try to pair them up. So there's going to be a full field of cars. We'll run down right now who we have. This one's not mine. That's actually BST design. So definitely make sure you check them out. This is going to be the full list of cars here. Now, there are going to be more cars added for each particular driver, but again, out of the cars that will be on the track, this is the kind of the set grid. There shouldn't be many more. I'm actually not adding in any fictional drivers this time. Last couple times we had myself and my co-host and guest co-hosts who had cars in it. That's actually not going to be the case this time. We're just going to have it strictly for Pinty Series names, or names that are Canadian. So we'll start off here with the number one. This is the Gibson's Finest Racket and Kobo Dodge Challenger for Anthony Simoni. And the Beaver Buzz Energy TCB Trailers number 3 for Brett Taylor for Team 3 Red and EHR. The Purdy's Chocolates number 3 for Brett Taylor once again. The Steel Winging It TCB Trailer number 3 for Brett Taylor. And then, of course, there's another blue version of that car to match with the TCB colors. Coca-Cola Canada and Hatch Limiteds number 3, again, for Brett Taylor. The 4 Laps for MD Dodge for Peter Kloot. The GEC Global Vehicle Systems number 5 for Kevin Lay for Herniak Hall Motorsports. The number 8 M&M Meats Chevrolet for Tyler DiVincenzo and EHR. The Petro-Canada Lubricants Chevrolet for EHR. This will be driven by Nick Whitmer in this race. The Super 8 Hotels by Wyndham Chevrolet at EHR for Tyler DiVincenzo. The Skip the Dishes number 8 for Tyler DiVincenzo, as well as the fully Skip the Dishes car. The number 9 Allen's Apple Juice TD Bank Chevrolet for Brandon Watson. The Great Lakes Concrete TD number 9 for Brandon Watson. And the Canadian Flatbeds Limited Choco Authentics TD Chevrolet for Brandon Watson. The O2 Holler Magazine Watson Building Supplies. And then, of course, this is the Tree Canada car for TJ Renamato and White Motorsports in that Chevrolet. The 04 Air Canada Dodge for Dumoulin Competition and JF Dumoulin. This will be a car that will be in full-time this year for the full fictional season. Along with it is the 04 Bell Laval Rocket machine for, once again, JF Dumoulin. Finally, it is the Manulife Bank 04 for JF Dumoulin. The number 15 Landshark Lager Chevrolet for Michael Herniak Jr. and the Herniak Hall Motorsports 15. And the Circle K Rowdy Energy Chevrolet for Michael Herniak Jr. The Hot Wheels 17 for DJ Kennington, who will drive, again, this, I mean, how can you have a Pinty series without DJ Kennington? And basically the white flames in the on the number 17. Just making sure I could see the actual chat feature here. So DJ Kennington, that number 17 Hot Wheels machine. Then we've got the Instacart Castrol Edge. This is basically its normal paint scheme for DJ Kennington once again. The Super Clean 17. This is based off an actual paint scheme that his teammate Andrew Ranger drove. And then the Kraft Canada 17 KD ride, the Kraft Dinner Mobile itself. DJ Kennington will drive this at CTMP. The MLSE Foundation Toronto Maple Leafs Castrol Edge Dodge as well for DJ Kennington. And then we get to the Irwin Tools at Rona, number 18 for Alex Tagliani. The Tag E-Karting number 18 Chevrolet for Alex Tagliani in 22 Racing. And the Harry Rosen 22, once again for Alex Tagliani. The Shopify number 18 is another ride and look for Alex Tagliani. And then the Viagra colors for Pfizer Canada. Trayton Lapsevich in the number 20 Monster Energy Quick Wick Chevrolet for 22 Racing. And the Quick Wick Velamo Chevrolet for Trayton Lapsevich. Trayton Lapsevich will also drive the Tim Hortons number 20 in some events this year. As we get to the Sunripe 21 with fruit to go on the back there, World Financial Group Dodge for Jason White. And then the 22 Casper Chevrolet for Mark Antoine Cameron. In the number 22, again, for the McDonald's Canada, this is a Paints by RAH base. So credit all to Paints by RAH. And the McDonald's Canada car. The number 24, Coffee Crisp Nestle Canada Chevrolet for Kyle Steckley. And the Napa Auto Care Chevrolet for Kyle Steckley. The Wendy's Canada number 26 for Scott Hargrove. And the 27 Auto Trader Mr. Sub Dodge for Andrew Ranger, the 2019 champion. He'll also drive the 27 Budweiser Dodge. The 28, of course, will be driven by various drivers this year, including Dustin Momberquette. And we'll have a different driver for this race at CTMP. The 32 Rogers Sportsnet Ford for Cole Powell, which actually is not at this race. The 32 Booster Juice Tri-Car Ford for Cole Powell. And the Rogers Communications 32 for Cole Powell. The CarStar Collision Center's 33 Chevrolet for Daniel Morad. And the 34 Sirius XM Toyota for Jamie Krizik. The 36 Booster Juice Ford for Noel Dowler. And the 36 Leuna Ford. As well, a Dave Jacobs car, which will have different drivers. The 40 Scotty's Kruger Inc. Chevrolet for David Michaud. And the 43 Boston Pizza Mr. Lube Dodge for Chantel Kalika. The 43, now this is actually not going to run. This car actually will end up being deleted, but the 43 Cheerios Snugglebugs Dodge for Chantel Kalika. And the 43 Kellogg's Special K Dodge for Chantel Kalika. Chantel's final ride, the Sparkling Ice, number 43. This one's a Chevrolet to be run in Ontario. The Bellwether Tech, number 47 for LP Dumoulin. And the 47 Servomax Dodge. The CarnationCanada.com 47. And the Cookit WeatherTech 47 for LP Dumoulin. The 53 Sobeys Highliner Foods Chevrolet for Cole Butcher. And the Freedom 55 Dodge for Dumoulin Competition for Isabelle Tremblay. The 59 Bix Pickles Dodge for Gary Clute. And the Leon's 59 for Gary Clute. The Mattamy Hones 59, also sponsored by Ultramar. The 64 NTN Bearings Leland Valamo Dodge, Chevrolet for White Motorsports, Mark Dilley. The 67 Thorson's EVT Giant Tiger Chevrolet for David Thorndike. The Goose Island HaveOne.com Chevrolet for Wally Wilson. The 74 BMO Bank of Montreal bumper-to-bumper Total Dodge of Kevin Lacroix. The Vachon Jolie 74 for Kevin Lacroix. It's a Challenger, actually, not a Chevy. The H.H. Gregoire Dodge for Jocelyn Facteau. And the 80 Couche-Tard CAA Quebec Old Dutch Chevrolet for Donald Teege. The 80 Labatt Chevrolet for Donald Teege. The 84 Home Depot Rigid Challenger for Larry Jackson, who will split in a combined effort with J.R. Fitzpatrick, who will run the 84 Home Hardware Chevrolet, the 84 Kodiak Boots Chevrolet. Larry jumps back to the Max Sold 84 Challenger. JR with the Pioneer 84. And Larry with the 84 Shell Canada Challenger. Kenny Forth in the Pure Country Radio 86. And the Celtic McCain number 89 Ford for Donald Chisholm. The 91 Interstate Batteries Bullies Truck Stops Chevrolet for EHR, Dexter Stacy. And the Bombardier Windsor Salts 91 for EHR. Finally, to wrap up the field is the 99 Clute Motorsports Mary Brown's Bento Green Oak Mike's Hard Lemonade Dodge Challenger for Ryan Clute. So those are all the cards that are going to be featured so far. We're going to obviously have more to be added in. One thing, again, if you do want to find a lot of these templates, these cars are not available for download, but cars like this, the BST design with the actual 2020 designs, go to BST Designs. They will have all of them available there. So we are going to go to CTMP. We're going to have 31 entries. We're going to take down the strength because the last time we did that, we had a big wreck. 13 laps, we'll go a little bit higher. We're going to go 21 laps. Typical race here around 51 laps, 2.45 miles. And yeah, I'm running into a bit of an issue here technically. Let's see if this will work. If I've done this right. So we're going to go off to CTMP here. We're not going to do any practices. And I'm going to turn down the audio a little bit here just to make sure it's not so loud. Just because that can interfere. The idea behind all this, again, is just trying to get some more attention to the NASCAR Pinty series. Qualifying is going to be taking place here, so you're going to see the results kind of pop up. You see it scrolls along here. We've got the entry list here. Simone Taylor, Peter Kloot, Nick Whitmer, TJ Renamato, JF Dumoulin, Michael Herniak Jr., DJ Kennington, Alex Tagliani, Trayton Lapsevich, Jason White, Marc-Antoine Cameron, Kyle Steckley, Scott Hargrove, Andrew Ranger. How about Parker Thompson driving the 28 for DJ Kennington, Cole Powell, Daniel Morad, Robin Buck driving the 36 for Dave Jacobs, David Michaud in the number 40, Chantel Kalika, LP Dumoulin, Isabelle Tremblay, Gary Kloot, Mark Dilley, David Thorndike, Kevin Lacroix, Jocelyn Fecteau, Donald Teach, J.R. Fitzpatrick, and Ryan Kloot. So again, we're going to just advance through here. You see advance, and qualifying will be over. Let's go and start the field here.
Drivers, to your cars.
Starting at the back in 31st place is the number 40 for David Michaud. We'll try and get some better looks of the cars here. It'll be a little tough because they've made it overcast, unfortunately, for the weather. So there we go. We have David Michaud in that number 40, who will start in 31st. On row number 15 is Michael Herniak Jr. in the 15. And alongside him, starting in the number 8, is Nick Whitmer. Ryan Kloot in the 99, and TJ Renamato will start beside him. Mark Dilley and Isabelle Tremblay are on the next row. And Parker Thompson and Kyle Steckley. David Thorndike and Brett Taylor in the number 3. Jason White and Chantel Kalika. Robin Buck. And there it went. Common issue, it seems to be, is with this, is it unfortunately sometimes goes out. So we'll have to basically just do this race setup again. If it's going to let me. And right now it's not, because I can't access the bottom half of the menu. All goes well until it doesn't, unfortunately. Well, this we got all this set up. I just don't know how I'm going to get it full screen again. It was able to do it so well before. Just have to do some quick fixing here. It's the first time this is actually happening, so this is why we needed to do a little bit of work. There we go. Make this a little bit bigger for you all. There we go. All right, so we are ready to go here. We'll get this race underway. Fortunately, they're going to have to redo the qualifying there. That's, you know, part of it. All right, entries are going to stay the same. Qualifying looks like it's about the same. And here we go. So let's see if we'll be able to get a closer look on. We'll do the rear chase. Rear chase. All right, your front row, DJ Kennington, and alongside him, J.R. Fitzpatrick in that Pioneer number 84. LP Dumoulin in the number 47 Bellwether Tac Dodge, and Scott Hargrove. Kevin Lacroix and Gary Kloot start in 5th and 6th. And Daniel Morad and JF Dumoulin in 7th and 8th. Marc-Antoine Camerand in 9th, and 10th to Alex Tagliani. Peter Kloot starts 12th. He'll be alongside Andrew Ranger. That's a tough qualifying spot for Andrew. Anthony Simoni will start in 14th, and Jason White alongside in 13th. Great qualifying run. Robin Buck will start in 15th place, and Brett Taylor 16th. 17th for Parker Thompson, 18th for Donald Teague. Chantel Kalika will start in the number 20 position, while in 19th is Cole Powell. Trayton Lapsevich will run the number 20, and will have the Tim Hortons colors on his car, with the Giant Tiger 67 of David Thorndike in 21st. Mark Dilley in the 64 will start in 24th place, and Jocelyn Fecteau will start 23rd. Isabelle Tremblay will start in 25th, and in 26th will be TJ Renamato. 27th will be Ryan Kloot, and Kyle Steckley will be 28th. Michael Herniak Jr. will be 29th. 30th will be Nick Whitmer. David Michaud will round out the field in the final spot in 31st. Well, let's ride on board. We're going to be on the pace car to start this race. Take a look back at the rest of the field. So what's nice about this game is that you're still able to take a look and basically view. Interesting. I'm going to say none. If I would say none, it's just going to be blank, right? No? Interesting. I'm surprised to say that. So we'll be on board the pace car there. We'll look out the rear. What's going to happen is they're going to get the command, just like normal, just like a normal race. And we're going to basically watch the field as they go through. Hopefully this won't crash once again. Not much I can really do if it does. Just all comes down to laptop capabilities and streaming, for the first time. So it's still really cool, actually, the fact that this is able to be done. I'm still learning a lot about the whole OBS studio and streaming. But it's been very fun already to be able to do this, and hopefully be able to put on weekly races. Lots of racing this weekend, so that's why we're able to do this. Let's see if I can turn my volume down a little bit, just because I don't want it to be too noisy. If anybody's in the chat, you just let me know. So we're getting ready for the race here. We're not going to do a full 51 lap race. Don't have the time, unfortunately, to do a full race today. But Stickers and Scuffs podcast weekly. Tomorrow, our interview with Larry Jackson will come out at 12 o'clock. So make sure you tune into the channel for that, or find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, on iTunes. Basically, check them out anywhere. We're pretty much available all over the place. So there's just going to be a bit of a countdown here. Let's see how much time we got. 40 seconds. 40 seconds. Again, let's take a look at the information here. 21 laps. That's not that long. We'll see. We've got the yellow flags on. Damage is on. Realistic weather. It's going to be a little bit overcast, but we've got it on simulation. 31 cars, which would be the most that we had seen in quite a while, unfortunately. So, if only. So the pace laps are underway here at CTMP. On board the pace car right now. We are going to have 21 laps around CTMP. J.R. Fitzpatrick and DJ Kennington on the front row. And DJ has not really been a front pole sitter before here at CTMP, but obviously the longtime competitor of the Pinty series is somebody that you're going to want to watch. So we see the field coming around. LP Dumoulin, Scott Hargrove on that second shot. Gary Kloot, great road course racer at CTMP. He's a previous winner. He won his very first race here when he won his first pole. See the back of the field there. It's David Michaud. I'm going to scroll up through the front of the field. I'm not perfect with the hotkeys here, so let me see where I'm at here. Hargrove, Dumoulin. We're going to watch Kennington for the start. 21 laps. Caution flags on only 100 strength for the AI. Last time I did this, I had him on 110, and there was a huge wreck that took out pretty much everybody. So we're going to try that again. The problem that you can have with NR2003 sometimes is the AI, it can be very stagnant, and they do kind of the same pattern, and that can kind of definitely mess with things. I'm not sure how good the audio is going to be for the game on this. It's basically why I'm testing this out. But we've got the first race of the season here, man. The CTMP, J.R. Fitzpatrick, DJ Kennington, Hargrove, Dumoulin, Lacroix, and Kloot. The biggest story, starting in the middle in 12th position, or in 10th position, is, no, it was 12th actually, is Andrew Ranger, which is, if you know anything about the NASCAR Pinty series, Andrew Ranger doesn't typically start back there. He's normally way above that, and in much more pristine position. So we'll get going here. 21 laps around CTMP. DJ Kennington and J.R. Fitzpatrick are going to lead the field here at CTMP on the Stickers and Scuffs YouTube channel. Fitzpatrick and DJ Kennington take the green flag. We'll race them down into turn number 1. Scott Hargrove and LP Dumoulin side by side. Kennington's going to try and clear Fitzpatrick. It's not going to happen yet. Fitzpatrick's got the inside line. Kennington strong on that outside. DJ Kennington still trying to battle. Is he going to clear LP Dumoulin and J.R. Fitzpatrick? LP tucking in right behind DJ Kennington. Hargrove settles into 4th, Lacroix 5th, and Gary Kloot is in 6th. J.F. Dumoulin. Now here comes the battle once again. Here comes J.R. Fitzpatrick on that outside, battling side by side with DJ Kennington. Right now, Kennington in that 17 Craft Canada Dodge clears Fitzpatrick, and he'll get the rung on the back stretch. Hargrove now side by side with the 47 of LP Dumoulin. And the Craft Canada 17 Dodge in a easy lead here early. But again, contact there between LP Dumoulin and Scott Hargrove. Coming around to lead lap number 1 of the 2021 season, DJ Kennington. And I can't tell you the last time I've seen DJ Kennington lead on a road course. He's more of an oval track guy. It's the 17 car with that cheesy goodness all over the side of KD. Takes it into the top spot. Well, one of the series that we like to follow here. Obviously, the NASCAR Pinty series. Make sure you check it out all season long on TSN. Definitely make sure you follow along. Our season, of course, currently in jeopardy right now due to the COVID-19 virus. The pandemic continuing, but good racing can be had if only we can get stuff squared away. One thing we're going to do here is we're going to go through the field on a regular basis here, try and see if we can figure out who is doing what. So we'll go right to the back of the field here. David Michaud, Nick Whitmer, Michael Herniak in the number 15. Of course, Herniak running in the Ontario Sportsman Series for Herniak Hall Motorsports. There's this number 15. You can see the number 15 driving in that series, so make sure you check them out. They're always looking for partners. So if you can, their budget's it's a lot cheaper to sponsor Ontario sportsmen than Pinty's. There's Ryan Clute in the 99 alongside Kyle Steckley with the Napa Auto Care 24. Kyle, of course, recently announced that he is going to be driving the number 24 Pro Late model, and Napa Auto Care came on board. So we're going to go to the inside of Ryan Clute in the 99, and we'll take that spot. Following again, here is the 02. This is TJ Renamato driving for White Motorsports with RGC Sports, of course, his organization. And, of course, Isabelle Tremblay. I made the mistake on the podcast with Chantel Kalika to state that she was the first racing mom. No, that would be Isabelle Tremblay, who will run the 55 in this fictional season. With Freedom 55, financially easy for me to say, with Socialite Vodka on there as well. Isabelle is a fantastic person, a great person to interact with. She was extremely friendly to us about our podcast and gave such great words, kind words to us. We'd love to see her back in the NASCAR Pinty series. So I'll put her in here. The 55 car with Freedom 55 Financial. Seems like a good mix. Mark Dilley just up ahead of her in the 64. NTN Bearings Villamo Chevrolet. Of course, Villamo is a company associated with RGC Sports. And just ahead of him, their driver for 2021 in RGC Sports, Trayton Lapsevich, who will run the Tim Hortons number 20 car. In real life, he runs the Quick Leland RGC Sports Chevrolet for 22 Racing. Here he's got sponsorship from Tim Hortons, the former family sponsor for his dad and his brother for a short time. At least for his brother, a short time. Chantal Kalika on the Boston Pizza Mr. Lube 43. The Couche-Tard, number 80 for Donald Teege. Not going to run, actually, the road courses. JF Leberge will run them for White Motorsports. Jocelyn Facto in the number 77. Still not sure exactly the schedule Jocelyn was going to have, but definitely expect to see him on there. And David Thorndike, we do know, is going to run the CTMP races. Hopefully, they are all still able to happen. Up ahead of him, the number 28. Parker Thompson, actually, you would have seen this weekend at Barber Motorsports Park. He was doing the coverage for Road to Indy. Unfortunately, his IndyCar career is in flux right now. But he's doing the media side of it right now. Out of Sherwood Park, Alberta. Or is it Red Deer, Alberta? Could be wrong. No idea. He's out west. We'll just take that. He's got David Thorndike all over him in the 67. Up ahead of them, Cole Powell here in the 32. No, we did see Cole run the 32 for Dave Jacobs at Jukasa. And there's the 3, the brand new driver for the EHR team, Brett Taylor. 4 of Peter Clute, normally runs the 42. He's running this for Brad Miller's Laps for MD and the fictional Laps for MD racing team. And Robin Buck, the solid road course veteran, running the 36 Leona Ford for Dave Jacobs Racing. Alex Tagliani currently running in the 12th position. Bit of a struggle here for him so far in the Pfizer number 18. He'd normally way up front, but just based off of the standings so far, he has been unable to get up there. Anthony Simone running just outside the top 10 in the number 1. And how about this? How about Jason White running the number 21? And he is in the top 10. Oh, he's just outside the top 10, actually. So actually, Tag has drifted back. Now he's back to 13th. And Jason White is in 11th. Marc-Antoine Cameron runs 10th. And the biggest surprise so far in the Autotrader.ca Dodge, Andrew Ranger sits, oddly enough, he is only in the 9th position. So a bit of a struggle so far. We're watching that 27. Just up ahead of him is JF Dumoulin. And then we'll watch the 33 Chevrolet. This is Daniel Morad. Very, very successful road course racer. Somebody who we desperately want to see in this series. I think he had one start for Carlos de Quesada and ran, right up near the front and was extremely impressive. Gary Clute in the 59. We will expect Gary to run the road course races at least in Ontario, so CTMP is a likelihood for him. Catch their YouTube channel for Legendary Motor Car. Still running that beautiful program. Riding in the car with Gary Clute. And of course, he is just behind. Oh. The 74. Is there a driver better in the NASCAR Pinty Series on road courses, aside from maybe Andrew Ranger, other than the 74? Kevin Lacroix, by far one of the best ever. And of course, he's got a two-time champion ahead of him, LP Dumoulin in the number 47. And a driver we actually have not seen in this series before, but somebody who I felt very strong about putting in the car for road courses is an excellent road course driver. That's Scott Hargrove. He's driving the 26 Wendy's Chevrolet for 22 Racing. Of course, with Wendy and a Frosty on the back of the car. And next up is the Pioneer Energy 84 for J.R. Fitzpatrick. Made a return last season for the 2022 Racing team in the number 24 Party Casino Fun car, and unfortunately was unable to win. He did run 4 races, but no one has been able to touch the 17 of DJ Kennington out front this entire race so far. Michael Herniak Jr. currently running at the back of the field. Of course, this would be his first road course event if he did, in fact, participate in the Pinty Series. You know, that is a goal of the HH team. So definitely, if you can help them out with funding, we could definitely use more cars on the grid for 2021. Say Chantal Kalika now going to the outside, which will now turn to be the inside of David Thorndike. We had Chantal on the podcast. She is a lot of fun. Great personality. We hope to be able to see her full time in this series eventually. She takes the 43 past the 67. Of course, David Thorndike in the Promotive Racing 67, a long-time series competitor. And just behind him, Trayton Lapsevich in that Tim Hortons number 20. Mark Dilley in the 64. Continue to watch this battle here with Kalika, who's gotten by David Thorndike right now. So it's Trayton Lapsevich. Mark Dilley. See TJ Renamato battling with Ryan Clute at the back of the field there. And so it looks like Trayton did not get off that corner well enough. And Mark Dilley now has a solid run. Here's Kalika. And battle here between a couple of French drivers. Jocelyn Fecteau and Donald Teach just up ahead of them. Parker Thompson in the 28 PC Financial. President's Choice Shoppers Drug Mart Challenger for DJ Kennington. Brett Taylor, a driver who you will actually see in the number 3 for 2021. Just up ahead of him, Cole Powell, who used to drive the number 3, drove it for a season before Jason Hathaway jumped back in the seat. Peter Clute driving that number 4. He's running in the 15th position. Second best of the Clute so far. Robin Buck. And the struggling Alex Tagliani still back in 13th place. Jason White has fallen a little bit farther behind Marc-Antoine Camerand. Camerand still sitting in that 10th place behind Andrew Ranger. JF Dumoulin, we got a battle actually up ahead there. Gary Clute now looking to the outside of LP Dumoulin. He's got his, he doesn't have a teammate behind him. He's got more competitors that would more than likely love to take that spot away from him in that 59. Here comes that 33 of Daniel Morad. Of course, the 33 did run last year. Brett Taylor drove the 33. Year before, the 33 was run by Kevin Poitras at the race at CTMP. Taylor ran the 33 last year. Got a podium finish in one of the 6 races that we did have. 59, Gary Clute. Always very, very strong here at CTMP. Now we got a battle between Morad and JF Dumoulin. So the Dumoulin brothers, Gary Clute, Kevin Lacroix, though, has yet to catch Scott Hargrove, in the 26. Lap number 13. When they come around, there'll be 7 laps to go. And I don't think anybody is going to catch DJ Kennington. DJ way out in front. Probably something to do with a little bit with the formulas. I did take a lot of the formulas, so I think it does base it off of the race. It's like how many races I took it from. So that would probably make him a little bit better than everybody else because he's been in all of them. So we'll have to do some manual adjustments for our second race later tonight. The schedule, of course, starting off at CTMP, just like we normally would for the NASCAR Pinty Series. Then we go to Sunset Speedway, which was supposed to be our season opener. Not sure if that's going to happen right now due to COVID. And it's an unfortunate circumstance, but if they can get the racing, even if there's no fans, that would be great. But At the same time, our series is so dependent on its fan support. See the field coming in, climbing into turn number 1, going down the hill. Lots of elevation change right there. Long sweeping turn 1 and 2. All these templates, a lot of the numbers, some of the base schemes, all provided by the amazing Jerry Hall. See actually a little bit slower car. That's that 15. And the 40 at the back of the field here. There's a rear chase view from Ryan Clute. So somebody that doesn't have a lot of great results, unfortunately. Ryan's had a lot of mechanical failures. He's caught the back of TJ Rinamato here. He's got to run. It's another base scheme by Paints by RAH. And Clute will go to the outside. See if he can make the move. Ooh, careful. And Ryan Clute will take that spot. And push the O2 back a spot. Moving into the 26th out of 31 positions. Is Isabelle Tremblay in the 55 Freedom Financial car. She's got Mark Dilley in the 64. Chevrolet up ahead. How you doing, Maddie? I think I finally got it working, so let me know if you're getting any sort of issues with stability and or sound. No, Maddie, the fictional drivers are out for the season. I tried to get as many actual Pinty series names in it, but you guys are your team cars aren't going to be in it, but you as drivers will. So right now we don't have any. We have all actual drivers featured. But the idea behind it is to eventually get some of you guys, you know, I just trying to get as many cars as possible that could potentially be out on the track. Just trying to get some eyes on the series still. Hopefully we'll get there, but we've got 2 races, though, Maddie. So this is the first one. Race 2 is going to follow at Sunset Speedway. So we're going to have to see how that goes. I'm going to have to do some adjustments to the ratings because some of the guys got out like way in front. Now, I think you'll be a little bit surprised when I tell you who's out leading, Maddie. But we'll show you right now. He's not really known for being a road course racer, but he's up front, and he sat on the pole position. Mr. DJ Kennington in the KD Craft Canada Dodge is out in front. And he's been out in front the entire race, so we've got to definitely fix that. I think it comes down more to the rating system. That I picked too many races. I should have just done a select race and then mapped the ratings specific to the driver. But there's a couple of rotation cars, Maddie. So the 28, So we've got rotation cars are the 8 for EHR. So Nick Whitmer and Tyler DiVincenzo are the current confirmed drivers that I'm going to put on this car. Then we've got the 99 Clute Motorsports, which Ryan Clute is in for this race. It's the Bentall Oak, Mike's Hard Lemonade, Mary Brown's Chicken 99 car. The the 28 PC President's Choice Dodge. The 4 Laps for MD Dodge. The 36 Leuna Ford. That was the 33. I just went past it, but the 26 Wendy's Canada Chevrolet, and those are like the rotation cars, so those will have different drivers in them all year round. It's just a way to try and get less numbers and more full-time cars. They put them on the track more often. DJ Kennington is going to win this unless something crazy happens. We've got three laps to go. Check in again on the channel because we're going to have Sunset Speedway coming up in a little bit. There'll be a bit more of a change there. Maddie, if you're sticking around, you could be a part, and if anybody else that's tuned in wants to be a part of selecting what paint schemes the drivers are using for Sunset Speedway. And of course, there is a limit to the track based off of, as you're well aware, the game tracks only have they can only take certain amount of cars at certain tracks. So Sunset, I think, is in the 30s, which is good because this race we had about 31 cars. But we're going to go through and put down the full results after the race, and then I'll post those hopefully on Twitter. But DJ Kennington has led this entire race. He got away from the rest of the field pretty quickly. LP Dumoulin, surprisingly, has not been up front enough. Alex Tagliani has been struggling all race long. We're going to go through this field right now for Matthew Hall. So at the back of the field, David Michaud in the number 40. He's sitting in 31st place. Kyle Steckley struggling, but he and Michael Herniak, this is their first start on a road course, so they're both sitting back there in the 30th and 29th place. Nick Whitmer in the number 8 for EHR in the Petro-Canada Lubricants Chevrolet. TJ Renamoto. Ryan Clute, he's moved up a little bit. Isabel Tremblay in the 55. 64 for Mark Dilley. And here comes a battle that we have seen. I'm not sure. I'd have to go. I haven't seen Sunset in a while, but I think you're right. Like maybe 27 at the most. Trayton Lapsevich and the 67 of David Thorndike. Donald Teague. Chantel Kalika, Jocelyn Fecto. Then it's the 28 of Parker Thompson. Peter Clute and Brett Taylor. Cole Powell and Robin Buck up to 14th place. Still sitting back, though, in 13th is Alex Tagliani, 12th for Anthony Simoni. Autotrader.ca 27. This is actually a scheme I did 2 days ago in order to get a proper, nice-looking 27 out onto the track for Andrew Ranger. Then you got Jason White, Marc-Antoine Camerand, JF Dumoulin, Daniel Mora now coming up to the back of Gary Clute. And the white flag is out. I can't even believe I'm going to say this, that DJ Kennington, I don't even know if DJ's won on a road course, to be honest with you. And if he has, it's got to have been years ago. But coming around, he's led every lap so far after getting by J.R. Fitzpatrick on the very first lap. It's a little bit of a fight with JR to get the lead. But something that we would love to see is that number 17 pulling back into victory lane. Castrol Edge, of course, on the back of this car. All the featured Craft Canada brands, you will hopefully be able to see a bit more. We'll be adding on the Philadelphia cream cheese car to replace the KD eventually, but he's got a lot of other cars that we're going to have featured. We're going to pick the roster for the next race. Coming around the final couple of corners, DJ Kennington in the number 17 is going to win at CTMP to win the very first race of the fictional season. Got the rest of the field. I'm trying to see if there's any battles that we can shoe in here. This one that won't go away, Trayton Lapsevich and David Thorndike. We can expect that Trayton is going to be much better when they get to Sunset. David will not be at that race. But it looks like he's going to have to settle, as David Thorndike will hold off Trayton Lapsevich. Mark Dilley behind. Isabel Tremblay behind. Ryan Clute. Let's get you the finishing results. First off, let me export them so I remember. Your winner, DJ Kennington in the number 17. J.R. Fitzpatrick finishes in second. And on the podium for his very first start, Scott Hargrove in the number 26. Kevin Lacroix finishes in fourth place. And LP Dumoulin is in fifth. Gary Clute finishes in the sixth spot, holding off Daniel Morad in seventh. JF Dumoulin in eighth. Ninth for Marc-Antoine Cameron. And 10th for Jason White. Andrew Ranger struggles mightily and finishes in 11th. And Anthony Simoni finishes in 12th. Alex Tagliani is 13th. Robin Buck 14th. Cole Powell will finish in 15th. Brett Taylor will finish in 16th place. Peter Clute in 17th. Parker Thompson in 18th. Chantel Kalika finishes 19th. And Jocelyn Fecteau finishes in 20th. 21st for Donald Teague, 22nd for David Thorndike. For his very first start, Trayton Lapsevich finishes in 23rd. Mark Dilley struggles and finishes in 24th. Isabel Tremblay, 25th. Ryan Clute in 26th. TJ Renamato, 27th and 28th for Nick Whitmer. 29th for Michael Herniak Jr., 30th for Kyle Stackley. And David Michaud finishes in 31st. Then we get to this nice glitch that you get with this game, where all the race finishes and they all try to go into their pit stalls, but that doesn't realize that that's pit wall. So, first race of the championship is over. So, DJ Kennington wins that race. But we're going to have to make some changes here. And what I mean by that is we're going to need to bring up the N ratings program, and which probably means I'm going to need to exit out of the game. Because what's going to happen here is we're going to have to do some fixing, but we're going to have to first figure out our roster here. So we're going to Sunset. So what I'm going to do first actually is go back and we're going to find Sunset Speedway for race number 2. Now, I have night or I have day. Well, that was a day race that we just did, so we're going to do a night race. Oh, shit, yeah, only 24. Let me see if there's anything else. Does Sunset Day have it? No, 24, that's it. Oof. That's going to be tough because we got a big field here, so we might not be able to fit some of those fantasy drivers in. We're going to do 100 laps. And let's make it a little more exciting. Let's make it crazy. Let's make it 105 in terms of strength. All right, so now let's get set to make the roster for Sunset Speedway. Now, what we have to do first is add in the drivers that are going to be competing for the championship. So, Matt, if you are up for it, we'll have you pick some of the paint schemes here. So, We got the number 3 with either Beaver Buzz Energy, Purdy's Chocolates, the Steel Orange, Steel Blue, or Coca-Cola Canada. I know you're a Pepsi guy, so I doubt that Coca-Cola car is going to be the chosen one. So for Brett Taylor, which car are we going with? And 5, 4, 3, 2, Steel it is. Steel Orange. Simone is going to run for the championship, so he's in this race. The 4 will not be able to make it. Steel Orange, that's good. I thought that's the one you're going to choose. Kevin Lay is going to be in this race. I'm going to put a kibosh on those ones. The Great Lakes Concrete for Brandon Watson. Renamato is going to be in this race. We might actually have to do a qualifying race. That might be what we need to do if we find that there's too many. Herniak is going to drive the Lion Shark car again. All right, the next competition there. All right, Hot Wheels. Instacart Castrol Edge. Super Clean. Craft Canada. Or I doubt you're going to pick this one. The MLSC Foundation car. Matthew Hall. Which one are we going for DJ Kennington? So again, that's the Instacart Castrol Edge. Hot Wheels. Super Clean. Craft Dinner / Craft Canada. Or MLSC Foundation. Whatever we choose here is what's going to be used in the race. Hot Wheels it is. Thank Jerry Hall for that. Then for tag, we have the Irwin Tools. The E-Karting. The tag E-Karting car. Harry Rosen. Shopify. Or the Viagra car. Yeah, DJ actually mentioned how bad luck that car was. So, I made a little different. Maddie. It doesn't have the full purple, so I think that may help. I don't think I need to ask. Oh, actually, maybe I do need to ask. We got the Monster Energy, number 20. We got the Quick Wick 20, or the Tim Hortons 20. Which one are we going with? Now, remember, the Tim Hortons one just ran, so it's probably going to be between Quick Wick and Monster Energy. Yeah, that's what I figured. I like the Monster. I think that one, it just... Man, Monster, just having a jet black car with Monster on it, man, they look so good. Casper or the McDonald's Canada? I'm picking McDonald's. I'm sorry, Matt, I'm not waiting for you. Because this one is just my favorite, man. Paints by RAH, man, they have some fucking amazing base cars. And he did such a great job on making the Jamie McMurray car here. So we got to use that one. What about Kyle Steckley? Are we going Nestle Canada? Or are we going Napa? Obviously, again, we have to remember, too, that the rankings are going to be a little bit different here because they're going to be much stronger road course drivers, and then there's going to be much stronger short track drivers. So definitely going to pick our ratings properly. So we're waiting on Napa or Coffee Crisp for our Nestle Canada. Napa it is. We're not going to go with the Budweiser. We're going the Auto Trader car. All right, the Cole Powell cars. Sportsnet Blue Jays, Booster Juice, or the Rogers car. So the Blue Jays, Booster Juice, or the Rogers car. I tend to think that the Sportsnet, I thought the Sportsnet car looked a little bit better. Those cars are not racing. Chantel, you got the Sparkling Ice. All right, I'll pick the rest of the cars there, Maddie. Kellogg's, we're gonna go with the same car that ran. We're gonna go with the Mr. Lou Boston Pizza car. And LP, we'll go with carnation.com. Cole Butcher's in this race. Mark Dilley is in this race. Wally Wilson is in this race. The Joe Louis car. We only have a couple more guys that we can actually get in this race due to the size. So, Tej. So we got to have three more. And Klute's not going to be in it. Chisholm's not in it. So it's going to be between Fourth, Fitzpatrick, and Stacy. So that's good. That means we have three. I think we're going to go with Larry on this one. And let's go with the Larry Shell Canada car. Kenny Fourth. And to wrap it up, we'll get the Windsor Bombardier 91 for Dexter Stacy. All right, now what we're going to do shortly is we're just going to close this up here because I've got to adjust the ratings here. And adjusting the ratings is something that we're doing only because you can kind of see me now. Only because the ratings are they play a role. And they play a role because it takes real life data and imports it to make the driver ratings in the game more competitive. So when we do something like that, you're going to want to... let me just make sure I can change this here. Don't know if it's even going to let me pick the... It's not going to let me pick the program, I don't think. So we'll open... I'll open this up. I don't think you can see it, so that's okay, though. I have to reopen it anyways because it just made a new... we just made a new roster. So one of the reasons that we're going to reset this is trying to make it as more realistic as possible. We're going to go off of the results from last year. And the reason why we're going to do it this way is you kind of know who did well and who didn't. So it's much easier to kind of pick of those kind of drivers who is going to be where. So we're going to motto, let's say there. LA will be there. Watson is there. Herniak is there. Tag did not run those races, but he would be typically up front. Back with Supper. Dude, I'm just thinking about Supper right now. I gotta go to work tomorrow too. I gotta go back into the office again tomorrow, 7:30. So we're gonna get this race in. It's gonna be 100 laps. It's again, this is not the full season that we're doing here, so we'll see how it goes. We're gonna just kind of match up a bunch of guys here and see how they work. Obviously, it's not the realism that we're kind of hoping for, but. Yeah, I mean, if we could eventually get to a point where we'd be literally talking about this because the racing does happen, I'm just going to be blown away if it does. I really am not looking very positively at this whole situation. So, all right, so we've modified the cars now, hopefully. based off the 2 races that we had last year, we're going to be able to put them all together. And so what you're going to do is you're going to get rid of me, because you don't need to see me. And we'll just get rid of that. And we'll reopen our game here. Well, I guess it would work. I think you can see me if I just put that back on. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Oh, yeah, I have to fix the order. Hold on a second. Move up. And one more. Order, move up again. Nope. Let me figure this shit out here. Move to top. Oh, I'm not even in the right one here, am I? Alright. That's why. Okay. Move myself a little bit into the corner, right under the SNS logo. This stuff is really cool, man. I'm not gonna lie. So, okay, here we are. We are ready for the second race here at Sunset Speedway. We're gonna have 23, and I've got 24 listed, okay? But we went with 23 competitors instead of 24. Now that I'm thinking about it, I could add another guy. So, who do we want to add? Well, we got to add the PC financial car, and what we got to do is we're going to add in our good buddy Matthew Hall. See how Matthew does in this race in the 28 President's Choice Dodge, driving for DJ Kennington today. Add him into the race here. Forgot to do that. Oh, okay. No, I did add him. Okay, good. But I got to exit out again because I got to fix the ratings again because I got to put him in it. So, gotta exit out of that. Do a lot of this stuff. This is, I'm telling you, man, it's just it's a lot of fun. We will eventually get to a point where we have just a bunch of people running the race that are buddies and stuff, and we just switch the names out, see how everybody does here. But let's just go 28 Matthew Hall. Let's see. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. 2022 apply, and I don't want select none. I just want the 28. Yeah, I mean, I can't even, honestly, I've not been able to actually erase this game for years because of the, I guess, the, how hard the graphics would be on my laptop to be actually able to do it. Typically, what you want for a game like this is you want to be able to have the best of the best. You want a PC, a tough top, computer, and I just don't have that. So I have a gaming laptop, so that's why this is able to work so well. But we'll put this thing on, and we'll see how you end up doing there, Maddie. Yeah, we'll see how it works because this should be fun. Now we ended up dying a little bit in that first race. We had to do it once over, but we're gonna go to Sunset Speedway, 100 laps. To take it around, 24 cars on the track, 105 strength. Pit stop frequency, we're going to leave it at 1. We don't need a bunch of pit stops, but we do have yellows on. So we could have a lot of chaos here. 105 typically, you could look 110 is the max. We're going to go skip right through qualifying here. Let's get you the starting lineup for our race.
Drivers, to your cars.
Oops. Our race at Sunset Speedway. Yeah, I mean this doesn't do too bad. It's not perfect, but it still does the job, I think. And that's at the end of the day, that's all you want, really. All right, starting. Well, I don't know why we ended up going back here. Let's see where. Oh, hold on. Hold on, sorry. That's the wrong lineup. There we go. That's what I wanted. I wanted the right lineup. Now let's get everybody going here.
Drivers,
All right,
your
no
cars.
peeking. Can't see where you're starting there, Matty. All right.
Drivers, to your cars.
Yes, we heard you already. All right. At the front, Michael Herniak Jr. What is going on here? DJ Kennington to the outside. TJ Renamoto, Wally Wilson at the back. Dexter Stacy, Larry Jackson. Switch the camera here. Chantel Kalika and the number 1 of Anthony Simone. Kenny Forth and Kevin Lay. Matthew Hall and he starts left side, LP Dumoulin. Kyle Steckley and Kevin Lacroix. Brett Taylor and Brandon Watson. Cole Butcher and Alex Tagliani. Triton Lapsevich and Cole Powell. Mark Dilley and Marc-Antoine Camerand. Donald Teege and Andrew Ranger, your front row. Pole sitter Michael Herniak Jr. Well, that's impressive. I don't know what person I gave him. I thought I gave him somebody a little bit slower, but I guess not. Michael Herniak.
Start your engines.
Thank you very much for the command, miss. So we got a field of 24 set to take the green flag here. Michael Herniak Jr. and DJ Kennington. On the front row, you see them stacking up. It's part of the bunching process here as they bunch them up to go green. Let's go to the spectator view as if we were at the racetrack. Herniak and Kennington. Green flag is out. We are racing for the NASCAR Pinty Series, race number 2. Herniak Jr. into the lead. Kennington and Teege battle for second. Dilley to the inside of Ranger for third. Herniak is going to lead lap number 1. Teege into second place. And the number 80 for White Motorsports, Kennington into third. Dilley now into fourth. Ranger into fifth. Now battling to the inside. Looks to be, is it Cole Powell or Cole Butcher? It's one of the Coles to the inside. Herniak still leads Teege in there. A close field of cars, though. Teege easily into second. Mark Dilley now into third place. Dilley in that number 64 NTN Bearings Villamo Chevrolet for White Motorsports. What a great run. It looks like Cole Powell now to the inside. Sorry, I'm going to get the Coles mixed up. Cole Butcher to the inside. Herniak, Teege, Dilley, Butcher, and Kennington, your top 5. Watson sits in 6th place. The Land Shark, number 15, out in front. Big field of cars here, 24. Out in front, let's take a look at where your favorites are running. Kyle Steckley has fallen. He and Matthew Hall. I don't know what's going on, Matthew, but you fall into the back of the field here. Brett Taylor just ahead of you. There's a chopper view from Sunset Speedway. Out in front, Michael Herniak. You see Kevin Lacroix is falling back. Stackley's gotten by. Here comes Matthew Hall to the inside. 3 wide. With Matthew Hall battling to the inside. Brett Taylor. You're beating Kevin Lacroix. I'm not sure what is going on with Kevin Lacroix right now. As the Joe Louis car goes to the back. Hall makes up 3 spots as now he goes to the inside of Anthony Simone. Let's watch the 28 of Matthew Hall here. And now goes to the inside of Renamoto. That's 4 spots in 1 lap. Now here comes back to the inside comes Simone on Hall. He was I don't know why he went high there. But a better run off the corner, but it's going to allow Renamoto to the inside. A lot of great battles here. Look at that high side. Not working so well for Cole Butcher. Is now fallen. He was running 5th. On board the 86 of Kenny 4th. The Pure Country Radio 86 Dodge. With Taylor Farms also featured on this car. He's got the McDonald's 22 of Marc-Antoine Cameron to his high side. And now he switches to the high side. Rear shot, that's Cole Butcher and Anthony Simone. Great battling is now Matthew Hall back to the back of the field. So the field is all over the place. Here's Andrew Ranger. Battling there, Marc-Antoine Cameron, Trayton Lapsevich in the number 20, Chantel Kalika in front of him. You see Trayton running the high side. And Andrew Ranger is going to go to the inside of the number 20. Chantel Kalika there in the number 43. She's got Kevin Lay out in front. Kevin Lay running great. Erniak Hall Motorsports first and 10th. Wally Wilson out in 9th place. Brandon Watson, he's running in 8th. How about Dexter Stacy? A great run for the 91. And LP Dumoulin. There's Cole Powell. He's running in the 5th spot for Dave Jacobs. DJ Kennington in the 17 car. And still out in front, Herniak. Now they're catching the back of the field, though. So this is where it's going to get interesting. The top 3, Dilly, Teej, and here is Herniak. Let's go and watch a bit more of Michael Herniak Jr. on board here. Nice yellow accents on the inside for the Landshark brand. And he's actually going to have it. Look at that. It looks to be the Irwin Tools 18 of Alex Tagliani. It is. So Michael Herniak Jr. is going to put the first lap down to a guy who lapped the field here. He's battling with Larry Jackson, though. See, Matthew Hall is battling with, still looks like TJ Renamoto, trying to get to the outside. And, I mean, Herniak is catching them. Here at Sunset Speedway, 100 laps. He's got Alex Tagliani. Not really much competition right now. See, Tej and Dilly are there, but we're on board the 15. As we watch out and ahead of him, Larry Jackson, Matthew Hall, battling out in front of, and the caution flag is out. We have a yellow on the track. I am not sure where it is, so there will be a replay. Yeah, there's a yellow somewhere. I'm trying to see if there's a car that had been. Oh, look at DJ Kennington. What the heck happened to DJ? Look at the damage to the back of the 17. Somebody really got into the back of him. So, is this a wreck right out in front? If you press S, you can get in-game leader. Oh, cool. Now, it may have just been LP Dumoulin getting into DJ. Oh, no, it was. Look at this. So DJ goes slow, and it looks like Mark Dilley just runs into the back of him and spins him out, and Kennington into the wall. So DJ Kennington crashes after contact with... Look at this, Maddie. Look at this. Now, something happened to Kennington. I'm not sure what, but if you'll notice... Oh, he was on pit road. So Kennington must have had an issue. Came off of pit road. Something still wasn't fixed. And he pulls up right in front of Mark Dilley. And Dilley just boots him right into the wall. So trouble for DJ Kennington. I'm not sure what happened to LP Dumoulin because LP also pulled onto pit road when the caution came out. I'm not sure if he had damage. If he ran, he may have run into the back of somebody. We see here. Does he get run into? No. No, something happened to LP Dumoulin and he pulled off the track. He's still back on the racetrack here. 33 laps here out of 100. Michael Herniak still leading. Michael Herniak Jr. leads them back to the green flag. Kennington back in the race, 2 laps down. And Alex Tagliani's car has finally given up. He is smoking on pit road. 18, likely done for the day now. Herniak continuing to lead here. Mark Dilley back in 3rd place. Up arrow? Okay. Thank you, sir. Is there a way to move it? Or does it stay in that position? Like if I wanted to move it to the side? So, a great looking top 10 right now. Michael Herniak Jr. leading Donald Teege. Teege is getting a better run, though, this time. And how about Dexter Stacy in 3rd place in the 91? Dexter Stacy. Mark Dilley in 4th. Wally Wilson is up to 5th. Brandon Watson 6th. Cole Powell, Trayton Lapsovich, Chantel Kalika, and Kevin Lay. Your top 10. Bunch of new drivers featuring here in the top 10 as Watson now going to the inside of Watson to the inside of Wilson for 5th. Teege still trying to get up there. Stacy 3rd, Dilley 4th, Watson is now 5th, Wilson 6th, Lapsovich 7th, Powell in 8th, Lay is up to 9th, and Kalika is 10th. 11th to Marc-Antoine Cameron. 12th to LP Dumoulin. Andrew Ranger in 13th. Simone, Taylor, Steckley. The 86 of Kenny 4th in 17th. Matthew Hall back in 28th. In 18th in the 28. Then Kenny 4th. Kevin Lacroix struggling really badly today. He sits in 19th. Cole Butcher is 20th. 21st now, as Renamoto gets by, J.R. Fitzpatrick's teammate this year, Larry Jackson, who's also running 84s, in 22nd, and DJ Kennington 3 laps down. Alex Tagliani is out of the race. Yeah, I think that's the case for most tracks. But you also have to remember, like, this track was made back for 2014, right? This is the 2014 version. So, I mean, I would love to be able to open sandbox. We got a car smoking. Is the caution flag going to be out? Oh, no! Renamoto has had an issue, and the caution flag is out. TJ Renamoto. I am not sure what happened to him. If he was in a wreck or if his car died. It looks like there's not much damage, so I'm thinking the O2 blew up. Yeah, she blew up. And that's a shame, because TJ was running really, he's battling a lot with Matthew Hall. But Matthew just, he outdid you, TJ, and the car, it died. No easy way to say it, and unfortunately gets into turn 3, and the whole thing, it just seizes up, and he just stops. And Cole Butcher and Kevin Lacroix almost ran into the back of him. Lacroix very lucky not to get any damage, because look at Herniak was right there. There's Stacy in third, Dilly, Watson, Lapsevich, Wilson, Lay, Cole Powell. So unfortunately, out of the race now is TJ Renamoto. Now, that was lucky, because Matthew Hall, I don't know how, but once again avoids going a lap down. So the O2 is out of this race. The 18 is out of this race, both with mechanical problems. Unfortunately, DJ Kennington is also out of this race. Essentially, he is 3 laps down after contact with Mark Dilly put him into the wall. This has actually been a pretty good AI race so far. I've seen a lot of passing, a lot of switching of places, but one of the guy names we got to watch, that 91 of Dexter Stacy. Definitely got to watch, because he's up in 3rd place right now. Wally Wilson also has made his way up there, but let's not count out Trayton Lapsevich. Okay, and there's a car on pit road right now. I'll go through and see who that was, because it's odd that they'd be pitting right now. It looks like it was Marc-Antoine Cameron who was in the top 10, so a bit of surprising move there. You see Kevin Lay in the number 5. This is actually a new build for me. This was a very nice take on. I mean, I really like how it turned out. That number 5. Wally Wilson as well, a good buddy, Wally Wilson. Gonna have some lap cars now to the inside, the 17 and the 22. The 22, for some reason, decided to pit. And I don't exactly know why, because he was on the lead lap. But we're going to watch the 15. As we come back to green here. Lap 53 in the books. Michael Herniak Jr. trying to... Oh, geez, he wasn't clear of DJ Kennington. Kennington to the inside. Now, Kennington always tends to show respect. If you show him respect, he'll give it back to you. But Kennington wants one of those laps back. And he's going to pull to the inside of Michael Herniak Jr. Marc-Antoine Cameron doing the same to Donald Teague. But Herniak will get out in front. And the 15 Landshark Lager Chevrolet for Herniak Hall Motorsports. Got a little bit high there. That's not exactly the run that he would have wanted to take. Marc-Antoine Cameron also trying to get a lap back. So he's going to pull right to the back of the 15. Let's go to the back of the field here and let's catch a couple of drivers competing. How about the 74, who, without a doubt, would have won a race here at Sunset last year, if not for contact with Jason Hathaway. He is struggling mightily. Larry Jackson out in front of him. LP Dumoulin is also struggling, and LP won the first race of the year here last year. So there's Larry Jackson, LP Dumoulin, Cole Butcher as well at the back of the field. Here's the battle between Andrew Ranger and Matthew Hall, teammates. And Matthew, despite being at the back of the field most of the race, is now battling to make his way through it, as he's got Mark Dilley, who was in the top 5 most of this race now, is right in front of him. So I'm not sure, Matt, what happened, but Mark Dilley is now struggling, and the 28 is going to the inside, potentially to get by Mark Dilley, who was in the top. He's going to push him up a little bit. Matthew Hall not making any friends here tonight. Bumps up the 64, trying to follow Kyle Steckley through. Kenny Forth also having a very solid race for Kenny. Chantel Kalika to the outside of Cole Powell. And Kevin Lay continuing his run to the front. Brett Taylor is also doing the same. He's to the outside of the number 1 of Anthony Simone. That is a battle for the 7th position. And give it to Brett Taylor. So Taylor and teammate Brandon Watson, Wally Wilson out in front of them in 5th place. Great run for Wally. And the 91 of Dexter Stacy back to 4th. Trayton Lapsevich slowly has made his way up into 3rd. But I don't know if there's going to be enough laps to catch Michael Herniak Jr. He has got a solid lead in the 15. And I think right now Trayton can catch the 80, but I don't know if he can catch the 15. There might not be enough time. Trayton driving that number 20 Monster Energy Chevrolet. You will be able to see Trayton in the 2021 NASCAR Pinty Series in the number 20 for 22 Racing. Monster Energy is actually not on the car. This is, of course, a fictional take on the series. He will have RGC Sports in Quickwick, in a combination, of course, RGC Sports with 22 Racing. So right now, the top 3 pretty solid, and if we don't have a caution that bunches the field up, the last 30 laps could potentially be about what we see right now, as the field has spread out quite a bit, single file throughout most of the field. See, DJ Kennington has gotten way out ahead. Here's the battle again at the back of the field. Mark Dilley, I don't know what happened to the 64, but he has fallen to the back of the field. And if he's not careful, he's going to get lapped. We're watching Larry Jackson, who was recently a guest on the Stickers and Scuffs podcast. You can catch us every Monday. We release on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcast, iTunes, YouTube. All available. Interesting enough, we didn't get any confirmation from iTunes that we were on Apple Podcasts, but funny enough, the data on Anchor says that's where we've been listened to the most. So, interesting enough. Make sure you guys check us out. If you haven't already, check us out on Facebook as well. Subscribe to the channel. Hopefully, we'll have more of these NR2003 races. NASCAR Pinty Series stuff, of course. Got a great guest coming in on Tuesday. We're very excited. A NASCAR Xfinity Series driver that will be on the show. Won't be the first Xfinity Series driver that we've had. We've actually had Ryan Vargas. We've also had Josh Williams from the Xfinity Series. We've also had team owner Mario Gosselin on the show. Rafael Lessard from the Camping World Truck Series, and of course, a lot of the regulars from the NASCAR Pinty Series. We've also had Pinty's main man, Tony Spiteri, and legendary broadcaster Alan Bestwick. Keep it tuned to Stickers and Scuffs for the Bun Sons and more. So out in front here, we're getting around to 20 laps to go. We're watching the back of the field here to see if Herniak is going to catch them. Herniak seems to be he seems to be safe right now, but DJ Cannington, on the other hand, DJ has had enough. DJ is ready. He's ready to get to the back of the field here. See, LP Dumoulin has struggled today. There's Brandon Watson to the inside of Trayton Lapsevich. A great move by Brandon Watson, and that is the battle for the 4th position. They just got by Wally Wilson, who's fallen now to 7th. Tej is trying to close on the 15 here. Marc-Antoine Cameron still in between the two of them. And if there is going to be a pass for the lead, it's going to probably be because of traffic. As they approach the back of the field here, Herniak has led the entire race so far. He has Andrew freaking Ranger to try and get by. And Cameron goes high. Now that could have helped Tej, but Tej did not get a good enough run. Now the only real way that I see anybody else other than these top two winning is if there's contact or if we get a caution flag. And right now, 3rd place is occupied by EHR. In fact, EHR has 3rd, 4th, and 5th in this race, with Stacy Watson and the 3 of Brett Taylor. Herniak Hall Motorsports has 1st and 6th. So a solid run for them too. Oh, Trayton Lapsevich has had to pit, and he loses that top 5 run, unfortunately. That's horrible, horrible stuff for him. I mean, who knows if there's going to be more pit stops that are going to be required here. You see, under a second here for Donald Tej. So he's reeled in Herniak, but he's really not getting any closer. As they approach those lap traffic, DJ Kennington is really going to be the reason if there is going to be any issues with he and Andrew Ranger. Donald Tej, again, close, but not close enough. Marc-Antoine Cameron still being a buffer, so it's really not going to make any sort of difference if he does get up there. There's not really a good chance that he'll be able to get past him with under 10 laps to go now, and he did not get a good corner there. Drifted up high. So Michael Herniak Jr. just needs to do what he's doing, and after all of the struggles that he has had today, Kevin frickin' Lacroix is in 10th place. What a great recovery. Wally Wilson still holding on to 10th place. Chantel Kalika in 8th. Anthony Simone 7th, Kevin Lay in 6th, Brett Taylor is in 5th, Brandon Watson in 4th, Dexter Stacy having a fantastic, his best run ever in the Pinty Series, in 3rd, and of course Donald Tej, who is now losing contact with the leader, Michael Herniak Jr. Well, he sat on the pole position and will come around to get 6 laps to go. I mean, the traffic is heavy in front of him, but unless there is contact, Herniak Hall Motorsports in their very first season, their 2nd overall start, could be headed to victory lane, and Michael Herniak Jr. getting his 1st career victory in his 2nd career start would be remarkable. 5 laps to go at Sunset Speedway, the 2nd race of the 2021 fictional NASCAR Pinty Series season. Next week, Flamborough Speedway. And that will be paired up with Kawartha Speedway before we hit the Western Swing. Well, Cameron closes. 2 laps to go. Traffic is getting very heavy now in front of Michael Herniak. He's got Ranger, Kennington, Steckley. But I don't think it's going to be enough. He's going to come around. He'll get the white flag. It goes a little bit high there. That's only really going to be for Cameron. I don't think anybody else will get by him. To the white flag. He wasn't in this series a year ago. He's only running the Ontario Sportsman Series, but he definitely would love a ride. Love the funding. Michael Herniak Jr. wins at Sunset Speedway. Donald Teach second. Dexter Stacy gets a podium finish in third. Brandon Watson in fourth. Brett Taylor fifth. Kevin Lay, his teammate, in sixth. Anthony Simone in seventh. Eighth for Chantel Kalika. Ninth for Wally Wilson. And 10th place for Kevin Lacroix. 11th place for Cole Butcher. Matthew Hall, he comes back from a struggle all race long and finishes in 12th place. Not too shabby there. LP Dumoulin in 13th. 14th for Kenny, 4th. Mark Dilley settles for 15th. 16th for the 32 of Cole Powell. Andrew Ranger struggles and finishes in 17th. 18th for Larry Jackson. Kyle Steckley finishes in 19th. Kyle Steckley, 19th, will lap down. Marc-Antoine Camerand in 20th. 21st, 2 laps down after a late pit stop for Trayton Lapsevich. 3 laps down for DJ Kennington in the number 17. And out of the race, TJ Renamato in the 02 and the 18. Alex Taglioni. Tough start to the race season so far for Tag. He struggled at CTMP. He struggled in this race as well. Not much we can really do, unfortunately. We're saving these results right now. We'll get the point standings afterwards. So the next race, Flamborough Speedway, in a couple of weeks. Well, not really a couple of weeks. You'll probably see it on here pretty soon. But this was the first time that we did this, so please let me know if we want to continue doing the whole season. You know, it's something that I've been kind of toying with and trying to figure out how to do it for the longest time. So trying to figure out how you do it was the hardest thing, and now kind of got it figured out. So you know, that's the one thing that you know, I'd love to learn continuously on how to do this and how to make it really make the channel more fun, you know, and be able to do these live streams with graphics and stuff like this. So I want to thank you, Maddie, for tuning in. Thank you. It was fun. And obviously we're going to be painting up more cars pretty soon and get more, hopefully, competitive, bigger fields. You'll definitely be seeing more of those in the future. So Flamborough Speedway and Kawartha Speedway will be next. Obviously, Kawartha's not actually on the schedule anymore, and the track was pretty close to death, but it's back, and you know, hopefully we'd love to be able to see them run in the series in the future, but for right now, it is not going to happen. Make sure you keep it tuned to Stickers and Scuffs all week long. We have content for you tomorrow, 12 o'clock p.m. Our interview with Larry Jackson from the NASCAR Pinty series will be live on the channel, also on Anchor, and of course, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, and of course, if you watch the video version on YouTube, you can. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We also are on Twitter. And of course, if you can, give us a share, give us a like. We'd love it. You know, Graydon and myself are all about this content. You'll see a little bit more from me on this side of things. I love doing this type of stuff. You know, wanting to... Oh, that's good to hear, actually. It's good to hear that it looks pretty good. I think that's a speedway that they can go back to and that can be successful. It just really needs people to be behind it. And I think we all know that that's kind of the reality of racing nowadays, Matt, is you need to have you kind of have to have it. If you don't have somebody in charge that wants to put effort into it, it's a little hard to make the racing good. So, we'll love to see that. But almost 2 hours here on the stream. That's crazy. I wasn't expecting to go that long. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. There was more than just Maddie that tuned in today. So that's awesome. If you have, guys, we can talk about the races too today if you're interested. But, I'm not going to go much longer here. I still got to have dinner and I got to get to bed. I got to get to work early tomorrow and get up at 5 o'clock. So, we can talk about it. I didn't watch NASCAR today, actually. I'll be honest with you. Not good. Geez. I'll be honest with you. Let's be honest. Richmond has sucked for a long time. Easily sucked. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not happy to see Alex Bowman and Ally win. But I didn't watch a single minute of that last bit of the race. I was too busy. IndyCar is kind of, when IndyCar comes on, I feel the field is way more competitive than NASCAR. The interest level is just bigger for me right now. But if I were to say that Richmond is a great race, it's not. And I've been to Richmond. That's the only race I've actually seen live. And it is not the same that it was years ago. Go back and watch Richmond in like 2002, 2003. Those races were amazing. So good. And you just don't get that nowadays. IndyCar, I was pleasantly surprised. Barber typically is not a great race. There's not a ton of passing. Overall excitement levels. I mean, I watched all of Road to Indy this week, and it was pretty well follow the leader most of the weekend. The driver that was on pole pretty well led the whole thing. There wasn't much passing, and the field just pretty much spread out, and it wasn't great. Let's be honest. We all want to see some of the better tracks, like St. Pete next week. That's always fun. Yeah, Maddie, Capital City, I would have loved to have seen it in its heyday. It's kind of the same story, man. Like, a lot of the tracks, apparently, like Delaware and Sunset, like, a lot of these places just are in, like, disrepair. And I'll be honest, like, a lot of people talk about how great Jukasa is, and it is. It's a top-notch facility, but just bear the differences between a Jukasa and, say, a Richmond in terms of, like, the actual facility itself. Night and day difference, right? But Alex Nagy's done one hell of a job with that track, man. If they can get the Whelen Modifieds there, if they can get ARCA or Xfinity to be at that track, I truly believe it's more deserving of what it has. The short track nationals are great, but there's only so much that of interest that can bring. I do really think that NASCAR needs to look at that circuit. The only problem with it is there's nothing near it. Nothing. And to bring in all those crews, to bring in all those drivers, all those teams into Canada, more than likely are going to be put up in hotels. So CTMP is more of a light, and that's, I think, why we've seen CTMP on the schedule. I think more likely they're going to go to like Montreal again. But, overall, IndyCar, great. I'd consider making the trek if they get one of the top series. Absolutely, man. For me, and Matt, it is a trek too. It's 4 hours to get there. It took us at least 4 hours to get there. Or 2 hours. I mean, I don't know what it was. It was long. And we had to do it twice because it rained. It poured, and we only got to see the modifieds and the and the hot rods, and then it rained, you would probably like 8 hours, I'd imagine. So if you're going to stay overnight. You're not hoteling it. But honestly, Maddie, it's worth it. And if NASCAR and the Pinty Series were smart, they would do the dirt race with the like if they're gonna do double headers, not Icar or not Oshweekend and Trois Rivières. It's more like right across from each other, Oshweekend and Jukasa. That's where you would do that. But anyways, we have a very exciting guest that's going to be coming on on Tuesday. So we're very excited to have an Xfinity Series driver on the podcast. And we've got some other interviews that we're hoping to get a big name from the NASCAR Pinty Series, hopefully. And then an interview that we had started, but mechanical problems with the internet caused it not to happen. So anyways, Maddie, anybody else that's tuned in, thank you for watching. Make sure if you can, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you all real soon. Maddie, have yourself a great night. And thank you guys, man. I really appreciate it. And we'll do this again real soon.